What prison?
Solano.
Why you talking all low? Hey, Boogie, I swear to God to you, bro. When niggas ask a nigga what prison they was in, what yard they was on, look at his demeanor. Hold on. Look at his nigga demeanor.
I'm saying, because he's Santana trying to say somebody knocked him out. He's saying that's how his team been. So I don't know. Maybe that's
no, he got knocked out in the pen.
He said the pen.
No, I did not. Nah.
So a nigga in the pen knocked your grill out?
Which one is it? Yes, they did. No, they didn't.
Yeah, that's what he said.
Wonder why you keep putting his phone on mute and then coming back.
I ain't know it was on mute. I ain't know. I ain't
You
see
said
it.
your team got knocked out in the pen?
They got chipped in the pen, yep.
That was a lot.
What prison?
Solano.
Bro, listen. Look at this nigga. Look how let me tell you something, bro. My nigga, I'm a penitentiary baby. When a nigga done stumped the yard, Boogie, when a nigga done stumped the yard, bro, when a nigga asked a nigga what yard he was on, a nigga said that shit with his chest poked out, Boogie. Nigga, I was at MR. Niggas, I was at Earth. Nigga, I was at Kinross. Nigga, I was at Bellamy Creek. Nigga, I was at Coldwater. Nigga, I was at Carson City. Nigga, I was at IMAX. Nigga, I was at Marquette. Nigga, I was at Standish. They say it with their chest stuck out. You know why? Because they get it's a pride thing. We know that when niggas
He not that. I told you. He not that, bro. He playing.
He playing on
that all. He playing, man.
Watch this.
He got about 3-4 teeth left.
Man, dog. This nigga Kashrulesglobaltv he got flamed up by Dawgfacetv, man. I ain't gonna lie.
He gonna have to retrain himself.
None of that stuff in the 80s and 90s.
How did they score 3?
It's part of the glow up.
How long your team been gone?
Like 12 months now.
Oh, it just happened.
When we first meet, Luce, like June.
So you just got out the pen?
That's right.
When I met Luce.
Yeah, you know.
So it didn't happen in the pen. I'm confused, bro.
I'm actually right now. Today's NBA.
But you been out? How long you been out?
You get locked up in the NBA.
But then you been out a year. How it happened in the pen 4 months ago?
Let me tell you something. I told you he lying, y'all.
Hold on, let me tell you what the temperature.
This nigga, hey, Boogie, did I say yesterday this nigga is stupid? Not stupid. Take the S out. He stupid. You stupid ass nigga.
Listen, if you've been out a year, how it happened 4 months ago? Something ain't right. See, I'm paying the nigga like, nigga sharp. I don't understand.
Click off.
Keep it
Click
real.
off.
No, bro.
You gotta click off.
No, he said you're on mute. Luke, he said it happened in the pen. He been home 4 months for a year, but then he just said it happened.
It happened 4 months before I got out.
Oh
no, you just said it happened 4 months
ago. I said it wrong there, nigga.
Hell no.
I met Luke. I was trying to get the time.
You wasn't trying to get shit out, bitch ass nigga. Take a bow.
Nigga know when he got
whatever December to now is.
Nigga know when he got a teeth knocked out.
That's what it is. Whatever December to now is. Since December.
I think you lying. Because the first thing
he is lying.
I went for it. Then you said it was just a chip. Now they saying it's gone. Now you say you've been on a year.
When he talking, you can see it's gone.
Right.
Listen,
right, Lucille. Right, Lucille.
Listen. Either it happened in the pen.
You say that shit all the way in his mouth.
It happened inside. It happened inside.
4 months ago.
No, I met Luce 4 months ago.
But when I asked you, you said how long ago I met you?
Yeah, June.
So you just got out the pen?
That's right.
So it didn't happen in the pen. I'm confused, bro.
I'm asking
you.
Right now.
But you been out? How long you been out? But nigga, you been out a year. How it happened in the pen 4 months ago?
Right.
Let me tell you something. I told you he lying, y'all.
He lying.
Let me tell you what the temperature.
I didn't even know he said this shit. I didn't even know, bro. I just know a liar when I hear one. I didn't know. I didn't see that. You know I ain't see that, bro.
I told you to watch this shit, Boogie. I told you that we must do proper research.
But look, obviously, I already know his type.
Yeah, we know your look at
this people in this world that's Mickey Mouse best friend. Them niggas is goofy as hell.
My question to you, everybody's watching this, why do you guys think that Wack 100 chose him to be a permanent part of his exposure camp on YouTube? And why do you guys think that he chose him to be one of his spies on the other side of 100 on Clubhouse? Because he knows he's a flawed nigga. He knows he's a do-boy. He knows he's a pawn on the chessboard. Wack know that. Wack specializes in looking at flawed niggas who looking for daddies. You got your teeth like a penitentiary to make it easier for a nigga to put a dick in your mouth.
It didn't even happen in the penitentiary.
No, it didn't. It didn't happen in the penitentiary. It happened right. Watch this. Let's back up for a second. When you lie, you gotta keep on telling lies now.
Listen, but he's so fucking retarded. He talking about it happened 4 months ago. He's saying all of this with no problem. Like, no, it did happen 4 months ago. How long you been out? A year.
Right. Watch this. Watch this, Boogie.
Man, what's wrong with your computer?
On this motherfucking platform, run your mouth and they hoeing your bitch ass. Watch this.
Well, he wants to show it's real, man.
No, listen, it's
My
nothing
people's
wrong.
gone. I'm glad
If
it's
he had a
gone.
story,
Okay,
He's trying to pull off the narrative.
Hey, yo,
He's
bro.
trying to take off the narrative from him. That's all.
Hey, listen.
Ain't no narrative, bitch. Where your chief at? What is the Great Space Coast Gates? What is the Scooby-Doo mystery about that, nigga? Where is your teeth and under what circumstances?
Man, start your interview circus with me, nigga.
Right.
Cause you goofy as hell. This for sure Mickey Mouse best friend.
I'm trying to.
This
I'm just
motherfucker's
saying,
goofy.
niggas say knock your teeth out, bro.
Who is they? Find him.
They say he was from
Find
Vallejo.
him.
Knocked
Find
you,
him.
he said you ain't got no front teeth.
Find a nigga from Vallejo. Find him, bro. It's on there. Find it. Find it. You got people. They find them.
I'm
Find
just
him. You do not. You gotta have facts. Just like you said, you can call a nigga snitch with no paperwork. You said you can call a nigga snitch with no paperwork.
You telling me that cuz just eat soft food?
Well, he want to show it's real, man. You feel what I'm
No,
saying?
listen, it's
My
nothing
people's
wrong.
gone. I'm glad
If
it's
he had a
gone.
story,
Okay,
He's trying to pull off the narrative.
Hey, yo,
He's
bro.
trying to take off the narrative from him. That's all.
Hey, listen, homie. You niggas on here teething. I mean, tripping.
They only need to go here teeth and he hoeing you. Your daddy whack.
I should have got it done in there.
Yeah, you sure should have, nigga. That's how we know you ain't. That's
See, you went from a chip to they gone to 4 months ago.
I just said that, Boogie. Nigga, if you lose a teeth in the penitentiary, they fix your shit because they ain't gonna have your shit. They got the penitentiary got better insurance than niggas out here in the street. You ain't finna get no veneer, but they will give you a bridge. They will give you some shit to fix your shit up, man.
Man, this is nasty work, man. This is crazy. Dog, you got.
I met Luce 4 months ago.
But when I asked you, you said, how long ago I met you?
I
You said,
misspoke.
You ain't misspoke, you bitch ass nigga.
he gonna have to retrain himself.
None of that stuff in the 80s and 90s. How did they score 3?
It's part of the glow up.
How long your teeth been gone?
Like 12 months now.
Oh, it just happened.
When we first meet, Luce, like June.
So you just got out the pen?
That's right.
When I met Luce.
Yeah, you know.
So it didn't happen in the pen. I'm confused, bro.
I'm actually
right now.
Today's NBA.
But you been out. How long you been out?
You get locked up in NBA.
But nigga, you been out a year. How it happened in the pen 4 months ago?
Let me tell you something.
I told you he lying, y'all.
Hold on, let me tell you what the temperature.
This nigga, hey, Boogie, did I say yesterday this nigga is stupid? Not stupid. Take the S out. He stupid. You stupid ass nigga.
Listen, if you been out a year, how it happened 4 months ago? Something ain't right. See, I'm paying the nigga like, nigga sharp. I don't understand.
Click off.
Keep it
Click
real.
off.
No,
You
bro.
gotta click off.
No, he said you're on mute. Luke, he said it happened in the pen. He been home 4 months for a year, but then he just said it happened.
It happened 4 months before I got out.
Oh
no, you just said it happened 4 months
yeah,
ago.
I said it wrong there, nigga.
Hell no.
Nah.
I met Luce. I was trying to get the timeline.
You was trying to get shit out, bitch ass nigga. Take a bow.
Nigga know when you got a
Whatever December to now is.
Nigga know when you got a teeth knocked out.
That's what it is.
Yo,
Whatever December to now is. Since December.
I think you lying. Because the first thing
He is lying.
I went for it. Then you said it was just a chip. Now they saying it's gone. Now you say you've been on a year.
When he talking, you can see it's gone.
Right.
Listen,
Right,
bro.
Lucille. Right, Lucille.
Listen. Either it happened in the pen.
You say that shit all the way in his mouth.
It happened inside. It happened inside.
4 months ago.
No, I met Luce 4 months ago.
But when I asked you, you said how long ago I met you?
Came out, got bounty hunters over here, niggas from Fixo over here, niggas from Breakthrough over here that originated from Cali. Right? First thing they asked, yo, that nigga.
Ain't no Louis
Look, man. Don't be trying to dig down in the whack tactics for this nigga.
Ain't no Louis
I told you. Them tactics. He throw him a bone, he take it away.
Hey, don't say my nephew got 9 months. Okay, both teeth that nigga on top. Yeah, nigga, hold on. Get your daddy whack talking about your bitch ass, you hoe ass nigga.
Because she gonna miss the gum effect. But nigga, you know shit. I still satisfy my girl nigga, with a 4 month. I still satisfy my girl. That's right. Shit.
This nigga gonna say the gum effect.
Bro, his girl is enjoying not having nothing in the way, bro.
It ain't stop no motion.
No. That's why you're vegetarian,
So
cat.
she getting straight gum.
I'm vegetarian, come back now, I'm having
Now, when he put the teeth in there, he gonna have to retrain himself.
None of that stuff in the 80s and 90s. How did they score 3?
It's part of the glow up.
How long your teeth been gone?
Like 12 months now.
Oh, just happened.
When we first meet, Luce, like June.
So you just got out the pen?
Yeah.
So it didn't happen in the pen. I'm confused, bro.
I'm actually
Yeah,
But you been out, how long you been out?
Yeah.
But nigga, if you been out a year, all that happened in the pen 4 months ago.
Right.
Let me tell you something.
I told you he lying, y'all.
He
Hold on,
lying.
let me tell you what the temperature.
Trying to understand what his hatred for NACs is.
Hey, from what I've seen online, I think the little Mexican he from, I think they just be pushing that C blank. They be pushing that supposedly they be pushing that. I don't think it's particularly neighborhood, but then again, I'm not.
What? You ain't shit.
Oh,
You
I
ain't
don't
shit,
know.
right?
Jordan and Pippen couldn't guard him either.
Show us that bag of rubber.
Yourself rapping.
The
And
shit
you
I seen
already-
online, he was basically
Yeah.
saying,
June.
So you just got out the pen?
Yeah.
So it didn't happen in the pen. I'm confused, bro.
I'm actually
Yeah.
But you been out, how long you been out?
Yeah.
But nigga, if you been out a year, all that happened in the pen 4 months ago.
Right.
Let me tell you something.
I told you he lying, y'all.
He lying.
Let me tell you what the temperature.
I didn't even know he said this shit. I didn't even know, bro. I just know a liar when I hear one. I didn't know. I didn't see that. You know I ain't see that, bro.
I told you to watch this shit, Boogie. I told you that we must do proper research.
But look, obviously, I already know his type.
Yeah, we know your
Look at
Look, there's people in this world that's Mickey Mouse best friend. Them niggas is goofy as hell.
My question to you, everybody watching this, why do you guys think that Wack 100 chose him to be a permanent part of his exposure camp on YouTube? And why do you guys think that he chose him to be one of his spies on the other side of 100 on Clubhouse? Because he knows he's a flawed nigga. He knows he's a do-boy. He knows he's a chump on the chessboard. Wack know that. Wack specializes in looking at flawed niggas who looking for daddy.
he made a response.
You got your teeth knocked out of the penitentiary to make it easier for niggas to put a dick in your mouth.
He made a response video saying
It didn't even happen in the penitentiary.
No, it didn't. It didn't happen in the penitentiary. It happened right. Watch this. Let's back up for a second. When you lie, you gotta keep on telling lies now.
Listen, but he's so fucking retarded. He talking about it happened 4 months ago. He's saying all of this with no problem. Like, no, it did happen 4 months ago. How long you been out? A year.
Yeah. Right. Watch this. Watch this, Boogie.
Man, what's wrong with your computer?
Nigga black being telling you he Mexican. Cause we got Mexicans as power. I just had. He checked black on everything. That nigga would have his birth certificate changed to black. He messed like a bubble. Can't tell that nigga he ain't black. You know what I'm saying? So
that's crazy. Birth certificate is crazy.
Yeah, you got
identify as a white man. Give me a home.
you cannot to your dog. When they opened up the door for them to change shit. Yeah.
On me, hey, I'm about to up the game. I'm about to identify as a Native American and start getting that entitled money.
But nigga, if we gonna do a DNA test, you probably, a lot of us already got Native American, you know, in our DNA already. Right. Yeah, let me go do some research on this nigga, man, because I don't know. I'm trying to figure out what the fuck, what his hatred, what that is over there, unless his neighborhood just getting into it with a bunch of Crips or something.
That could be. I don't know. A lot of what you see is a lot of clout chasing too. Like niggas be going stupid hard when they first come out, just trying to get their buzz, and then they try to tone it down later.
Yeah, well, you gotta think about it. You gotta think about it, Wack. If everybody and their mama running around screaming neighborhood, why wouldn't you go against it? If you're trying to get clout. Sure. I mean, if you're trying to, I guess. I mean, it's getting them on your radar. You want to know?
Ain't no Louis
Look, man. Don't be trying to dig down in the whack tactics for this nigga.
Ain't no Louis
I told you. Them tactics. He throw him a bone, he take it away.
Hey, don't say my nephew got 9 months. Okay, both teeth that they on top. Yeah, nigga, hold on. Get your daddy Wack talking about your bitch ass, you hoe ass nigga.
Cause she gonna miss the gum effect. But nigga, you know shit. I still satisfy my girl with a 4 month. I still satisfy my girl. Right. Shit.
This nigga gonna say the gum effect.
Bro, his girl is enjoying not having nothing in the way, bro.
No motion.
No. That's why you're a vegetarian
So
cat.
she getting straight gum.
Well,
Now,
Oh,
when he put the teeth in there, he gonna have to retrain himself.
How did they score 3?
How long your teeth been gone?
Like 12 months now.
Oh, just happened.
When we first meet, Luce, like June.
So you just got out the pen?
Yeah.
So it didn't happen in the pen. I'm confused, bro.
I'm actually
Yeah.
But you been out, how long you been out?
Yeah.
But nigga, if you been out a year, all that happened in the pen 4 months ago.
Right.
Let me tell you something.
I told you he lying, y'all.
He lying.
Let me tell you what the temperature.
Understand, but this nigga, he got some nut. They got 360,000 monthly listeners. Got 5. Let me see.
Ain't no Louis Book, man.
Don't be trying to dig down.
He gonna have to retrain himself.
None of that stuff in the 80s and 90s.
How did they score 3?
It's part of the glow up.
How long your teeth been gone?
Like 12 months now.
Oh, it just happened.
When we first meet, Luce, like June.
So you just got out the pen?
Yeah.
So it didn't happen in the pen. I'm confused, bro.
I'm actually.
Yeah.
Today's NBA.
But you been out. How long you been out?
You get locked up.
NBA. But nigga, you been out a year. How it happened in the pen 4 months ago?
Let me tell you something.
I told you he lying, y'all.
Hold on, let me get you for the temperature.
This nigga, hey, Boogie, did I say yesterday this nigga is stupid? Not stupid. Take the S out. He stupid. You stupid ass nigga.
Listen, if you've been out a year, how it happened 4 months ago? Something ain't right. See, I'm paying the nigga like, nigga sharp. I don't understand.
Click off.
Keep it
Click
real.
off.
No, bro.
You gotta click off.
No, he said you're on mute. Luke, he said it happened in the pen. He been home 4 months for a year, but then he just said it happened.
It happened 4 months before I got out.
Oh
no, you just said it happened 4 months ago.
I said it wrong then, nigga.
Hell no.
I met Luke. I was trying to get the
You
time.
was trying to get shit out, bitch ass nigga. Take a bow.
Nigga know when he got to
Whatever December to now is.
Nigga know when he got to keep knocked out.
That's what it is. Whatever December to now is. Since December.
I think you lying. First thing
He is lying.
I went for it. Then you said it was just a chip. Now they saying it's gone. Now you say you've been on a year.
When he talking, you can see it's gone.
Right.
Listen,
Right,
bro.
Lucille. Right, Lucille.
Listen. Either it happened in the pen or
You say that shit all the way in this house.
It happened inside. It happened inside.
4 months ago.
No, I met Luce 4 months ago.
But when I asked you, you said how long ago I met you?
The jealous American community is to Kendrick Lamar by him being from California. Why believe it or not, they look at it one way, stand behind him. We look at it one way, but they look at it another way. They look at it like the fact he
Joe Shiller, nigga. That's how we know you ain't. That's
See, you went from a chip to they gone to 4 months ago.
I just said that, Boogie. Nigga, if you lose a chief in the penitentiary, they fix your shit because they ain't gonna have that. Me and Ray the OG, we sold crack on the north side of Flint. The nutty north side of Flint. Listen. This gentleman who you guys see on the screen, if you can see this nigga, just say I can see this nigga. This nigga, I'm gonna keep it G. This nigga, his name is Kashrulesglobaltv on YouTube. He's a part of Wack 100's spy group. Wack 100, in the conversation I had with him about 2 weeks ago, during the conversation, he announced that he had 38 spies operating on the YouTube, operating in the YouTube social media space. And these 38 spies, their job was to gather intelligence and information on people. Their job was to dig up dirt and salacious details on people. That's what he said they were. And this gentleman, I'm using the term gentleman loosely. This gentleman, his name is Kashrulesglobaltv, right? That's his name. This nigga is a bitch. He's not a bitch just because I say he a bitch. He's a bitch because he said he a bitch. He said he was a bitch, doggy. Yeah, he said he was a bitch. Well, how did he say he was a bitch? That's how he said he was a bitch. During my conversation with Wack 100, this pussy ass nigga, this fuck boy ass nigga spoke up. I was accused by Lucille Cannon, Wack 100's lackey, do boy, chihuahua ass, bitch ass, cocksucking, fuck boy ass nigga. You know Luce Cannon a bitch because his YouTube channel is him and his bitch name on it. Bitch, what do you got to do with his YouTube antics, ho? Oh, I forgot. This nigga's so stupid. He don't know how to create a YouTube channel on his own, so he had his bitch do it. So therefore, she put her name in it too. Who in the fuck do you know has a YouTube channel as a YouTuber and got their bitch name on it with him? What kind of stupid ass backwards Rico retarded shit is that? So this nigga right here, Kashrulesglobaltv is this bitch ass nigga now. No Kashrulesglobaltv, what I call him. None. Zero. Zilch. You can go find this nigga on Instagram. He's the dustiest, dirtiest nigga. He say he represent the Bay Area, East Oakland to be exact. But East Oakland, California, in period.
We first meet Luce, like June.
So you just got out the pen?
That's right.
When I met Luce.
Yeah, you know.
So it didn't happen in the pen. I'm confused, bro.
I'm actually today's NBA.
But you been out. How long you been out?
You get locked up. NBA.
But nigga, if you been out a year, how it happened in the pen 4 months ago?
Right.
Let me tell you something.
I told you he lying, y'all.
He lying.
Let me get you for the temperature. If you
I didn't even know he said this shit. I didn't even know, bro. I just know a liar.
Milwaukee. You hear his name mentioned all across the Midwest, and then I've even been asked about my next guest from my people in California, my people in Tampa Bay. Kid L of the Kid L podcast has joined me. He so graciously joined me to have a round table, even though the table is not round, discussion.
Anytime you hit me up, it's an automatic let's go. Anytime you hit me up.
It's an automatic let's go. My first question is, why aren't you interviewed more? When you look at the role that you have played in helping to push Detroit's entertainment scene global, when you look at the role you have played and, you know, in just the landscape of podcasting, just within of itself.
Like June.
So you just got out the pen?
That's when I met Luce.
Yeah, you know.
So it didn't happen in the pen. I'm confused, bro.
I'm actually
Yeah.
today's NBA.
But you been out, how long you been out?
You get locked up. NBA.
But nigga, you been out a year, how it happened in the pen 4 months ago?
Right.
Let me tell you something.
I told you he lying, y'all.
He lying.
Let me thank you for the temperature. If you
I didn't even know he said this shit. I didn't even know, bro. I just know a liar.
Throws you off, man, because you're just thinking about like, damn, I feel like I've done more than you bringing up that subject from Rit. And I felt like that even with the one with Jetto,
So you just got out the pen?
That's when I met Luce. Yeah, you know.
So it didn't happen in the pen. I'm confused, bro.
I'm actually today's NBA.
But you been out, how long you been out?
You get locked up. NBA.
But nigga, you been out a year, how it happened in the pen 4 months ago?
Right.
Let me tell you something.
I told you he lying, y'all.
He lying.
Let me thank you for the temperature.
I didn't even know he said this shit. I didn't even know, bro. I just know a liar when I hear one. I didn't know. I didn't see that. You know I ain't see that, bro.
I told you to watch this shit, Boogie. I told you that we must do proper research.
But look, obviously I already know his type.
Yeah, we know your look at this
Look,
nigga.
with the people in this world, that's Mickey Mouse best friend. Them niggas is goofy as hell.
My question to you, everybody's watching this. Why do you guys think that Wack 100 chose him to be a permanent part of his exposure camp on YouTube? And why do you guys think that he chose him to be one of his spies on the other side of 100 on Clubhouse? Because he knows he's a flawed nigga. He knows he's a do-boy. He knows he's a pawn on the chessboard. Wack know that. Wack specializes in looking at flawed niggas who looking for daddies. You got your teeth like a penitentiary to make it easier for a nigga to put a dick in your mouth.
It didn't even happen in the penitentiary.
No, it didn't. It didn't happen in the penitentiary. It happened right. Watch this. Let's back up for a second. When you lie, you gotta keep on telling lies now.
Listen, but he's so fucking retarded. He told us it happened 4 months ago. He's saying all of this with no problem. Like, no, it did happen 4 months ago. How long you been out? A year.
A year. Right. Watch this. Watch this, Boogie.
Man, what's wrong with your computer?
Kid L of the Kid L podcast has joined me. He so graciously joined me to have a round table, even though the table is not round, discussion.
Anytime you hit me up, it's an automatic let's go. Anytime you hit me up.
It's an automatic let's go. My first question is, why aren't you interviewed? When you look at the role that you have played in helping to push Detroit's entertainment scene global, when you look at the role you have played and, you know, in just the landscape of podcasting, just within of itself, why is it you don't like to be interviewed? Because he was making the beats and they had their own little thing. So Tech Nine had a different route in. You know what I'm saying? And plus he was doing all of the underground shit, all of the wake up shows, the freestyles, nigga. He was really active and he turned his underground. He's the best underground artist that ever made money. That's what we. Who are like us, we don't really want to be interviewed. Content for other people. Why is it that you haven't been interviewed more, given who you are and the role you have played?
So last year and the year before that, I was asked to do a lot of interviews, and I did do a decent amount. But once I started seeing the routine of the first questions being like the culture vulture thing, I was like, it throws you off, man, because you're just thinking about like, damn, I feel like I've done more than you bringing up that subject from Rit. And I felt like that even with the one with Jetto, the interview Jetto did with me on the Iced Up Records interview. Okay. I was kind of like, damn, man, like instantly, like I don't even like kind of warm my dude up, like kind of talk. And then I started doing more interviews, and I just noticed it was the same thing over and over again. So I was kind of like, what am I being interviewed for? Like, I'm not getting interviewed for any of the cool things I'm doing. I'm getting interviewed for like the clickbait stuff immediately. Even if I interview a guest and I know there's some clickbait material within the story, I'm still going to treat them with respect and, like, you know, some regard. Like, you did these things, you accomplished these things. All right, now here's the story everybody wants to know about. Let's talk about that.
Kid L, let's just tackle this culture vulture thing, right? And this is really like the last time that I'm going to, because we talk on a frequent basis, you and I, right? When I first noticed it, because it was just like I had heard rumblings of it, right? And then when it kind of like snowballed, and I saw the people who were kind of like on it. It wasn't even so much as the people who were on it trying to champion that. It was the people who I knew who were working behind the scenes, right? Same people who I know were in your DM and in your inbox and in your email asking for your support in terms of interviewing them or an artist or somebody connected to them. Listen, brother, a culture vulture is somebody who takes from and takes from something without returning something, without giving something back, without having some substance. Somebody who just feeds off of the carcass of a thing without trying to enhance or enlighten or inspire. That is not you. One of the things that, and this, I know I'm going to get boo-hooed for this, but one of the things that Black people will do is that we don't like something, if we see an angle from which we can attack something to delegitimize that thing, that something, we will take it. Not all of us, but when people get to that group think mob mentality shit, they own it. You had people calling you culture vulture who didn't even know what the fuck the term culture vulture meant. And just because you're Black don't mean you know what all these fucking words and phrases mean and terms mean. Don't think that, right? Motherfuckers were just saying that shit because one of their favorite people were saying it, right?
Yeah.
I'm sick of that shit. I voiced my opinion from day one. I've shot that shit down. You have never heard a rumor where somebody has told you, hey, Kid L, Dawgfacetv is on that same shit. No, I used my voice. I raised my voice and supported you. People have called me and pointed out a litany of things that they thought that justified that, and I shot all that shit down because I know you as a person. I know your heart. I know your intent, and I know your work ethic. And I countered whatever they came with, and I said to most of these people, hey, if you want to call somebody a taker who doesn't replace anything, there are plenty of people who look just like you and I talking to them. Who you can label that? You can't label Kid L and justify it when you look at his body of work. His body of work is more than just a podcaster. And as a podcaster, since that's what you want to point to, all you got to do is, well, he only interviews big people.
Yeah, that one kills me to this day. Hey, listen, I hear people say that, I'm like, what the fuck are we talking about at this point? Like, that's like ends the conversation between me and anybody once they say something like that. But you know what, to be honest, I kind of wanted to touch on that subject a little bit because I know I kind of wanted to wait for a later time in the progression of what I'm doing to say this, but this whole I interview anybody thing is kind of BS. First of all, these people aren't just anybody. A lot of these people are upcoming entertainers that are trying to make a living. They're trying to find a way of success. They're trying to market themselves. They're doing their best to find an avenue. And they feel like all the other platforms are gatekept and it's hard to get on them. And I don't make it super accessible, but I make it where if you prove yourself enough, I'll give you a shot. But I don't like when mainstream rappers or rappers of higher caliber call me out for that, because those same high caliber rappers that call me out for that are the same ones that don't show up even though they were scheduled to show up. So it's like, you want me to build my platform off of the people that have reputations and credibility and a portfolio and all these things. You're not even showing up to get a damn interview for me to be able to build those credible portfolio artists on my podcast. I have close friends that will call me out for it. I'm like, man, you canceled to come on my podcast 30 minutes before you were supposed to show up. And this is like a major artist. So I'm like sitting here going, you guys are, I don't like when mainstream artists are doing it. When they're judging me saying you just have anybody on, it's like, bro, you don't even show up. So shut the hell up. You're not even showing up to your interview. Mm-hmm. That's the problem with everybody. Everybody who has a platform where they're welcoming a higher status celebrity, that higher status celebrity has they can do whatever they want. They can decide to come on. They can decide to blow you off. They can decide to just ghost you after planning for 2 weeks straight, which has happened to me multiple times. Right. So for these guys to criticize and judge and say you have anybody on, it's like, man, start showing up. Not just for me, start showing up for everybody, bro. These directors that you're blowing off, these producers that you're blowing off, everybody that you're blowing off, man, you guys are the problem. When you're not sacrificing the time that you made that person obligated to open up for you and you don't show up, that's what's destroying the scene. because we're waiting. We're like, all right, let's do it, and you're the one not showing up. So people complaining when they're not showing up is just out of this world to me these days.
So are there any other criticisms of you other than the culture vulture thing? Are you aware of anybody criticizing you for anything other than that, or is that just it?
I'm getting a little bit of the Vlad thing lately because we have been promoting more like kind of crossing the line between, talking about subjects that could, cause controversy. But without doing that, again, like, what are we doing here? Like, you got to cross the line a little bit sometimes. For instance, the, Funny Salesman called out Funny Marco for allegedly trying to gatekeep him from Kevin Hart. And then Funny Salesman actually ended up doing a skit with Kevin Hart a couple days ago. So it was like a proud story of like, people were telling me they're going to gatekeep me, but now look, I got a video of Kevin Hart. And then he told me that he talked to Kevin Hart about it. And Kevin Hart's like, bro, don't ever let somebody think they can gatekeep you. If you just keep working, you're never going to be gatekept. But the fact that people throw those words around or throw threats around, which I've had people threaten me with stuff like that, that's a controversial subject. And I wanted to put it to light because I felt in my heart, like I felt that before. I felt like what it's like for somebody to tell me I'm going to cut you off, I'm going to make sure nobody fucks with you. I felt like I had to put that story out there. If it's true, if it's not true, I apologize. But from the evidence was shown from Funny Salesman, it looked legitimate. But people are saying I'm getting controversial now. I'm crossing the line. Like, what are you trying to start wars? You trying to start beef? What are you trying to do? It's like, no, we're putting the story out that people are saying. And that's part of podcasting. We're not going to say or present something that you like all the time. Sometimes it's going to be things that get controversial. Every podcast, every media platform does the same damn thing. So that's the only new thing I'm hearing a lot lately.
Gotcha. Kid L from the Kid L podcast is in the building. This is Dawgfacetv podcast live on every motherfucking thing. Kid L, has the Dawgface conversation been a constant and consistent conversation? Do people say, are you challenged about your relationship with me, about how cool we are? People saying, Kid L, why do you fuck with this Dawgface guy? What is the issue? What are you hearing about Dawgface in 2025?
Well, in 2025, I haven't heard much. I think it's because of the, they kind of swept the platforms from under you. They took your Instagram, they took your YouTube, and all those things. So it's harder for people to bring you up as much. But late 2024 and in 2024, I had multiple occasions where people on the podcast would tell me to remove any parts that we talked about you in. If I would bring you up during a conversation in certain podcasts with certain celebrities or rappers, after the interview would be over, they'd be like, can you remove anything with Dawgface involved in it? And I'd be like, damn, why? And they'd be like, we just don't want to feed into that. And part of it, I think they were scared of what they had said. Maybe they had made comments that they didn't want you to hear. And part of it is maybe they didn't want to feed into your platform for whatever reason. So that happened many times. And then obviously, when the whole thing with you and Al Nuke was going on, I was getting phone calls from left and right, like, why you fucking with Dawgface? Why are you getting with Dawgface? Dawgface ain't good. He's a terror on the community, blah, blah, blah. And I was just like, I wouldn't even try to defend you. I would just be like, bro, he does what he does. Like, what do I say to you? Like, he does what he does. You know what I mean?
A terror on the community. Let me tell you something, my brother. Detroit's entertainment community needs a terrorist. They need a fucking Unabomber. They need Waco, Texas. They need David Koresh. The Detroit hip hop and entertainment with entertainment scene as a whole, it needs to be shook up from the top to the bottom. It needs to be shook up. We need to replace people who have acted as gatekeepers. We need to replace the people who think they have the nerve, the gall, and the audacity to call somebody like you, who have built your platform with no aid, no assistance, no help, no shout out for them. My thing is, how dare you call me trying to use your influence on me in order to dictate who it is I deal with, when you look at when people were attacking me, this guy was criticized for defending me. Meanwhile, the people who are calling you, asking you not to deal with me, knew about what people were saying about you and said nothing. That's a hell of a stretch.
It was interesting to see, I'm not gonna lie, because there was people who were in my DM saying, why don't you have my back? And I was almost like, it's not that I have anybody's back in particular. I'm just not going to go and say, I support you out of nowhere, a person that, yeah, you have success, you have celebrity status or whatever, but I don't know you and you've never done anything when things were going wrong on my end. So why am I obligated to do things when things are going wrong on your end? You know what I'm saying? And not only that, but not only do you not have my back, but you're tearing my name behind the scenes. So it's like, what are we talking about here? Like, I'm supposed to defend somebody who's people who are literally trying to destroy what I've built, and not only that, expect me to be there for them when they weren't there for me when shit was going on for me. Yeah. That whole thing happened with IUR podcast last year, I think it was. Right. Man, like I thought my career was over. I was like, oh my God, I went on this podcast, I said things I shouldn't have said. It's over for me. Like the city's not gonna have my back. And then luckily they did, but the people that are asking me for my support weren't there at all.
Kidale, when you look at what people try to do to you, I want you to look at what has happened to me over the course of the last 2 months.
God damn.
Right? The same mentality, the same mindset that went against me was the same mindset that was going against you. Same thing.
Right.
Probably the same people working behind the scenes making phone calls, people calling these people who they believe have status and stature and asking them to call people. It's the same shit, bro. It's the same shit. We ain't gonna carry on that shit.
But on your end though, it's like when people actively try to take you down using technical abilities and stuff like that, that's not fair. It's like kind of really, in one way, it's like kind of looked down upon because it's like you're never supposed to use technical warfare to take down your opponent. I mean, I guess in these cases, these days, that's what people do. But, if they wanted to do something like that, there's other ways to do it. That's kind of like against the rules.
Yeah, but it's
like against the rules.
So the YouTube streets, right? People have the YouTube streets, and here's what the YouTube streets is. The YouTube streets is a marketplace and a meeting place for ideas, whether it be interviews, whether it be conversations, whether it just be FYI, whether it be just DYI. Everything that you want to know about life, you can find on some YouTube channel. YouTube is not social media. So when you try to attack somebody who has a YouTube presence, it's different than just attacking somebody who's only known on social media. Social media is like a bad television show. People go to social media to see crashed out type shit or controversial type shit. YouTube, you can type in how to build a garage in the YouTube search engine, and it's gonna pop up a DIY of how to build a garage. You can type in how to break down the atom on YouTube, and you can find it. You can break down how to change the transmission in a 1974 Oldsmobile. It'll pop up. On social media. Social media is not YouTube. Social media, you type in anything in the search engine, you will find nothing. So YouTube is a genuine marketplace for ideas. It's a genuine source of information. It depends on what you look for, you can find it. So people are using social media tactics to try to attack people who are YouTubers. It's not going to work, because a fan of what I say, a fan of my disposition is going to be a fan whether you decide you don't like me or not. I can't be stopped. You can report my pages, but like Big D and Sean Cotton told me I was supposed to, when Big D told me when I hit 50,000 subs, go to Patreon, like most big podcasters do. They put their most salacious and controversial content on Patreon. They put a clip of it on YouTube and they guide people to Patreon and Discord. I was supposed to do that, but I didn't anticipate people attacking me in this way. It's just the absolute truth. I didn't attack. I thought, because I'm a fool, I'm thinking we finna shoot out and fight and tear the club up. I didn't know that motherfuckers finna try to cyber attack me.
It's a new era, doggy.
Who the fuck are you telling?
No, it was sad, man. Like when I was seeing it, because I remember I was always messaging you. I was always like, dog, you got to figure out a way to communicate your message on social media without going too far, because these guys people will find a way. And that was sad watching you lose Instagram, YouTube. I'm like, bro, how? I looked up your YouTube yesterday, coincidentally. I was like, man, what's dogging up? Like, how's the shit been doing? And it's like, you can see it jump sometimes. It stays in the hundreds, but sometimes it can hit thousands. But I was like, man, there was a point where it was just thousands, tens of thousands.
Yeah. But my Patreon is a YouTube formatted digital video audio workspace. It's subscription based. You can't be complained off Patreon and Discord, right? Right. So I've actually made more, literally, Kidale, I've made more money on Patreon than I have on YouTube in 2 months in a year. 2 months on Patreon versus a year on YouTube, I've made more money. Openly, I made $1,500 on Patreon last month.
Sure.
So I'm not really concerned about it, and I don't even do it for the money necessarily. All right, I don't really care about it at all. I do what I do because I love doing what I do. I don't necessarily do it for the money because I make money in a variety of different ways, but I just like to communicate what I have to say in my thought process to the world. Kid L from the Kid L podcast is in the building. Kid L Detroit, Rio's free. Yeah. So I think there was a little lapse. in just the turn upness of Detroit. That's no diss or no knock to any Detroit artists. But I think we were on like I'm not even gonna say a downward spiral in terms of, right, a turn upness. But I think we had plateaued to a certain extent. Rio get free, and Rio, he's from Flint. He turned the whole state of Michigan up. All eyes are on Michigan. He's an adopted Detroiter for the most part. He's a ghetto boy.
I remember I messaged you at 2 a.m. because he dropped your name in a song. He started talking more shit to Dawgface, and I was like, yo, I hit you at 2 a.m. I was like, bro, I hope he's up. First time in the world you weren't up at 4 a.m. And I was like, damn, I can't wait for him to see this shit.
Hey, listen, so the concert, when him saying I talk more shit than Dawgface, that's like T Grizzly saying, hey, Wando, ain't it a blessing? We made out. It is that. At the concert last night, I have dozens of videos that people sent to me, right? Then when that part came on, the whole sea of people hollered Dawgface. He's going to go on a 50, 60 city tour starting now. Bro, my name is Rio is the hottest rapper in the world right now. There's nobody more turned than him right now.
Yeah,
right?
that's that shout out. That's that shout out. And you can't just get those shout outs. You can't just get those.
When I woke up, so his father, Ray, sent it to me like, dog, we got something for you. So before it even came out, before he put it up, he put that specific clip up for the purposes of letting motherfuckers know I see what's going on. And it's all because of nigga talking some shit, not because he actually did anything to you motherfuckers. I ain't feeling that. So that's why he put my name in the song. And that's why he could put any clip up of the song that he wanted to. But he put that one up specifically when he did when he first announced it. And then when the video came out, it was the same clip, right? So it was what it was. It's how I felt about it. Man, I was happy. Because sometimes when you do what you do, sometimes you don't get the acknowledgement that you think you deserve for being a pioneer or a trailblazer or somebody who, like just like you in many respects, people judge me according to my rough exterior. They don't look at, let's put it mildly though, but they don't look at all of the other things that I have done in terms of contributing to spreading Detroit's sound, not just across the country at this particular point in time. I don't give a fuck about that shit, Keefe.
It's important, man, because when you're talking about helping build these artists' careers and getting their exposure built for these artists that I know you've had major hands in helping a lot of these artists, it comes back to the city at the end of the day. The things that you tie yourself to is what helps Detroit get its discovery. More people are going to figure out about it because you're helping put pieces together, and you should start telling people about these things that you put together, man. You can't.
Everybody tells me that, kid. I talk to hell of a RJ. I talk to Floss a lot. I talk to a lot of people who say, hey, when people were attacking you, saying who you are and what you are and what you did and didn't do, they have no clue. Because when you and I'm like, well, how don't they know? Well, I don't talk about it. I don't spend my time saying I did this, and this for that artist, right? I spend my time trying to build a cohesive, impactful format that I can broadcast to the world. I don't spend any time I'm not at Wack 100. I don't point out every fucking thing I've done to somebody. I don't even give a fuck. You know what I'm saying? People call me and say, hey, dog, I need this or that or whatever. If I don't even have to fuck with you. But if I think you're a decent human being, whether we have a close-knit relationship or not, I'll do it. No problem, no issue, because it doesn't hurt me to see you be successful. Your success, like the world of podcasting, the YouTube streets, the Detroit block, for example. I reached out to several YouTubers. This is before the whole Jesse James thing. I reached out to several podcasters saying, hey, listen, man, I'm at almost 60,000 subs. I'm not only do I have my own podcast where I'm interviewing people and I'm prognosticating and commentating on all things urban, hip hop, whatever, news, entertainment, but I'm also being interviewed with some of the biggest podcasts across the country. So I'm attacking this thing from 3 different angles, right? So whatever information I come across that you guys can use to help you as far as information or whatever, knowledge, technical know-how, whatever, I'll give it to you. And I was forthcoming and I was true to my word. The whole YouTube streets thing that is a part of urban YouTube lexicon now. Kid L. I didn't invent the name YouTube Street. I didn't coin that phrase, but about a week ago, I'm saying YouTube Streets. I heard Wack 100 say it. I heard Loon from this Up There podcast say it. I've heard Mason Cam use the term YouTube Streets. What happens on YouTube is just its own world. The first thing I did, I typed it in the Instagram search engine for name. It was open. It was available. Snatched it immediately. I went to Laura and I looked up YouTube Streets. It was open. I could not believe that the name of the phrase the term was available. I heard LLC the fuck out of that shit faster than a rabbit and stick his head out of the hole. You're right. I do need to uncategorically really champion what I do. But man, I always screaming and yelling what I do, that shit is kind of like almost distasteful to me, bro. I would rather work trying to break new territory and break new ground versus spending any time whatsoever saying, hey, look at me, I did XYZ for. Because that ain't what I do it for. I don't do it to brag, but I do understand that you got to put some of these bitch ass niggas in their place.
That's the thing. It's like if somebody's gonna say, that you're doing something wrong or you're hurting the culture or you're hurting the community in whatever way, but it's like you can respond to that by all the good things and the positive things you have done. You know what I mean? And it's like kind of important for people to know those things because then they will just think, okay, who is this guy just coming in and calling people out all the fucking time? Like, what is he doing?
I've been here.
It's like a whole catalog of things.
Yeah, that's just a whole my. Listen, I will put my entertainment resume up against anybody in the last 15. I will put my shit up against anybody. What do you think about Rio's ascension upon immediately being released from? We talked about that. You asked me during one of your interviews with me what I think Rio's impact was going to be, and I told you he's going to suck the life out the fucking room. Pause. That's exactly what happened.
Yeah, you called it. I think Rio, I've heard of his plans from other Flint artists and what he plans to do with the Michigan music scene, and it's very interesting. I don't think I can speak on too much of what I've heard he's going to do, but what I will say is it seems like he's very much about bringing everybody together. He's a very much of a uniter type figure. He knows what is expected of him, but it looks like he's planning to over-deliver when it comes to the community of artists and entertainers and people that have to deal with the entertainment scene. And as far as the audience is concerned, they're just in love with the guy in every single category. He came back, they felt like he delivered. At bottom end of the story, like he came out, he dropped off Rio free, and that's it. And everybody, I think the Masonic Temple was sold out last night.
Yes,
I didn't see a seat open.
It wasn't one.
Tremendous crowd, tremendous support from everybody from Flint Cats to Skilla Baby showing up, popping up the side, and everybody's just there massively supporting the guy. I got invited to go too. I got an email from somebody asking me to come. I don't know. I was just kind of out of it. I was like, I want to go, but I also at the same time, my head's kind of all over the place to be attending certain things right now. But just to see that place is booked out, just like when Doug came on. Just to see that place is packed out. Obviously, different arenas, different states. I think Masonic's a little smaller, but
yeah,
see the support was intense.
Yeah, well, let me tell you something. You have rappers who can't sell out a fucking strip club, let alone the Masonic Temple. Those are hard seats. Those are hard tickets being sold, right? That's not truth. That's not Coliseum. That is a hard ticket sale, official, Live Nation. You get paid mechanical royalties for performing there, right? So to sell out a situation like that when he didn't really market anybody other than himself, it was Rio and friends, but they didn't announce who the friends were until the day before the concert, and he had already basically sold it out on his own merit. Let's just talk about Detroit's music scene, entertainment scene as a whole. Let's talk about the world of YouTube, right? Yeah. So, what do you think about? Is based on what you know in terms of podcasting, whether it's an interview style podcast platform or it is just like DJ academic style, just commentating about, right? What do you think? Do you think Detroit is our influence and impact is growing, or do you think we're still behind the curve in terms of? Do you think that people don't understand what YouTube really is and the impact? Because we're all trailblazing here. We are all trailblazing in this era. I ain't talking about no shit that happened 15, 20 years ago with no cable shit. This YouTube, there is no limitations to how far and how wide-ranging our reach is.
Yeah. You're talking about from an audience's perspective or from the community of our entertainers?
First of all, the community of our entertainers don't respect the YouTube streets. They don't respect. Right. They don't have a respect for the interview platforms outside of trying to utilize the interview platforms for their own purposes. They don't really respect it. That's why they will go and give an interview to somebody else before they come to us. And I said, I want to know your opinion about this. This is important to me, right? I said, the same people who criticize Kid L and call him a culture vulture or whatever, these are the same people when the people who are black, who are trying to build platforms, reach out to these same artists, and these same artists do not respond to them. It's not because they do shoddy work. It's not because they're doing it out the basement or out the backseat of a car. They've been ignored. People respond to you because they understand the impact and influence you have. But the same people who criticize you are the same people when a black podcaster reach out to them since we draw a comparison, they ignore them. What say you about that?
Well, I always used to tell my camera guy this, the guy who shoots our productions. I say there's only 3 reasons why an artist comes on your podcast. 1, he has to promote some shit. He has an album dropping, an event coming up. 2, he was bored as hell and was just like, damn, all right, man, I'm just gonna pull up and just do it, whatever. Like, it's convenient. I rock with you, whoever's podcast this is. I'm come through and do it. And 3, they got paid, and that's it. That's it. There's no real. You know what I'm saying? So that's how they make their decisions. They don't make decisions based on race or based on, like, I don't rock with this dude, I don't want this dude or this dude. It's more so just like, man, do I feel like doing it? Nah, I'm in LA right now. This dude is convenient. I'll do it here. Or my management is telling me we got to promote this tape, so therefore I got to do it there. Or somebody just slipped me $1,500 to do 30 minutes. I'll do that. I don't think there's too many dynamics to it. I do think it's very odd. I think it's odd to blow up and help promote other platforms outside of the city before you promote the city. Mm-hmm. Especially if you claim unity, especially if you claim, like, yo, we're in this, we're building this, we're doing this.
Everybody bullshit.
Yeah, and then you come out in the first interview, like, if you, let's say you're locked up for like 3 years, 4 years, 5 years, whatever, 6 years, come out, first thing you do is go on No Jumper. And it's like, if you're really smart, you get one of your mans to be like, yo, man, I feel like you have the ability. I feel like you can do this. I feel like you've been building your platform in Detroit. Let's blow you up. And that way I can keep circulating back with you. Anytime I need to do an interview, I don't got to fly out all the time. And all my artists under me are going to go to you. I think it's easier to do that, but their management's not about to do that. Their management's thinking to themselves, profits, exposure, go on No Jumper, go on Say Cheese, go on The Breakfast Club, because that's where you're going to get the most amount of exposure. It all comes down, at the end of the day, what's going to make them the most money in the long run? Coming on my podcast or going on The Breakfast Club? And that's how they make their decisions when it comes to that. Yeah. Sometimes, though, hey, listen, sometimes I will say this. Sometimes, I don't want to say any names, but sometimes it's like, come on, bro, why are you going on this random-ass dude's podcast in freaking Zimbabwe when you could have just pulled up on your boy and done the same, like, done a way billion times better interview where your people would have seen it, and you're giving them all these stories and all these things. Like, bro, why don't you come do that for your people? Like, your homie, bro. Like, why y'all... Like, a lot of my friends that are rap do that. A lot of my friends that are rappers do that. I'm like, man, why didn't you hit me up and be like, bro, instead of doing it with this random dude, why didn't you hit me up? Like, I don't get that.
Listen, I want to issue a challenge to Detroit's current entertainment personalities. Whether you're a rapper, a producer, a Tubi star, whatever. Show some love to the podcasters. Now, if they ain't got their shit together, fuck them. But for the people who have made a valiant effort, for the people who have structured their platforms in a professional, orderly manner, give some of that content to help grow a brand, because you never know. Listen, let me tell you a story, bro, about Hip Hop Lab. Bro, in the Show magazine, Hip Hop Lab, I was here when they were building those brands. They were not what they were not right now. They were not what they were, what they are right now. They had to grow those brands, right? And they had help from local celebrities who believed in that and really didn't have access to any other interview platforms. At that, when For Show magazine was being built in Hip Hop Lab, most of the people, Detroit hadn't exploded like that. We had the Eminems and the Big Seans, but as a whole, as a collective, we hadn't exploded on the national level like we are right now. So these artists, they couldn't get on the national syndicated, so they had to stick with the home team. Now, motherfuckers look right past local and go right, but they're the same ones who holler at Detroit versus everybody.
I'll tell you why, like, again, it comes down to the management, and also sometimes it is the artist's decision, but they basically go like this, right? Let's just say, for instance, you're T Grizzly, and he has, like, what, like, maybe 8-9 million followers or something like that. He already knows he has almost every single Detroit hip-hop head follow. So everybody who follows Detroit entertainment already follows him. Right. So in his mind, he's going to go, if I make a post alone that I got an event on Friday, everybody that follows me from Detroit's already going to know that I got this event coming Friday, and I got this tape dropping Friday, too. But not everybody from No Jumper follows him. Not everybody from A Breakfast Club follows him. Not everybody from Vlad TV follows him. So in their mind, they're like, no, we still have to get all these other, demographics into our resources, or else it's a waste. So that's kind of how they look at things. It sucks. It's a part of the game. It is what it is. But sometimes, like I said earlier, sometimes they throw out these interviews that have there's no tape coming out. There's no nothing. And it's just like, man, you just threw the craziest interview for somebody that you don't know. And it's like, you could have done that for the city, which, of course, I'm going to complain about it. I'm going to complain because I'm a motherfucking complainer. So I come from motherfucking complaints. It is what it is.
So if you're going to scream Detroit versus everybody, if you're gonna be one of those entertainers who's talking that Detroit versus everybody, we should stick together shit, or Michigan should stick together shit, do you have an obligation to help or to assist or to give content or to at least share and spread the content around to people who are from where you're from?
It's a smart move, right? I used to always talk about the 90-10 rule. I used to always say 90% of your efforts every week should go to your artistry and 10% should be you helping the entertainment community around you. Like whether it's you saying, let's say you're a producer, 90% of the time you're making beats, you're recording artists, but 10% of the time you go like, you know what? Let me invest in this one artist. I'm gonna send him a beat pack. He only has 1,000 followers. He only has 2,000 followers, but he's working. He's grinding. Let's send him a beat pack real quick. Or if you're a video director, 90% of the time you're shooting music videos, you're getting paid and everything like that. But maybe you might see an artist once a month and go like, you know what, man? This dude has crazy fire songs. Let me go shoot a music video for him because I know he doesn't got no budget. You can tell he has no budget. You can see he has no music videos. He has nothing else going on. Let me go shoot a music video. I do it with interviews all the time. There's people that I'm like, man, this dude needs a shot. This dude needs like a way to get exposure. I'm gonna tell him, come on, like pull up, man. Don't worry about nothing. Just pull up on me. I think if everybody starts doing that, strategizing around that concept, Detroit, in 9 months, you're going to see the entertainment scene flourish in Detroit. There's gonna be more podcasts, interviews, rappers becoming more successful, producers becoming more successful. Everybody's just gonna find more ways to monetize themselves because everybody's struggling right now, man. From the directors are struggling, the producers are struggling, the rappers are struggling. Nobody wants to admit it, but everybody's struggling, bro. You can see it because everybody's dropping feature prices left and right. Like, everybody's dropping the feature prices like $250 for a feature, and it's like 2 years ago the same feature would have been $3,000. You're never supposed to be going down the feature price. You're supposed to be going up. Therefore, it shows you there isn't enough streams of income for these artists to survive, and it's because you're not investing in your local entertainment hub. If you're investing in your local entertainment hub, it's going to constantly build, and anytime you need to reinforce whatever you got coming out, whatever music video or event, you got that hub right there. I'm gonna hit up Kid out for that interview. I'm gonna go to Lando for that. I'm gonna go to the Foreign Magazine, whatever the case might be. You have that accessibility now. I'm at the point where I'm almost at 500 episodes, and there's certain people, if they reached out to me now, I'd be like, damn, bro, like, where the fuck were you, motherfucker? Like why? You didn't even message a motherfucker. You never hit a motherfucker up. And now you see where we got, and now it's like, all right, now we need to work with L because I was at that level. But I'm on the type of time that when I was with Big Squad and with Sada, when I loved them. They're still my friends. I still talk to all of them all the time. But there comes a certain point where respect is a part of the equation now. Where it's like, damn, bro, you were not showing no love. You weren't showing no respect. How am I supposed to look at you and say, because you have some type of status, now I got to look out for you? When you could have hit me up at least one time in the past 500 episodes. That's a lot of episodes,
no,
bro.
Say 500. Say 500 again.
500 episodes. Like,
people will hear you.
There's certain artists, if they hit me up now, it's almost like, damn, bro, like, it's not that I don't want to. It's just like,
I remember you tried to hold me during my infancy stage. I remember that you left me on red when I reached out to you, and now that I'm lit. So listen, let me just tell you this, right? I always tell artists that, because you have artists say, hey, listen, when I was a nobody, the bigger producers were charging me $1,000, $2,000 for a beat. But once I started to get lit, they're giving me beats for free. And I'm saying that's because you put the groundwork in. But if they give you a beat that it means something, they can use that as a marketing tool because you are hot now. So you can't get mad. You should be happy because that's a testament that it proves that you have worked hard to get to a point where those people who you once looked up to recognize your artistry and want to work with you.
I feel like with our podcast, for some of the main stars, we have proven it. Like 42 Doug came, did an interview with us. It generated 100,000 views. He didn't promote it. Did 100,000 views on YouTube and over 100,000 views on YouTube. And on Instagram, it did like over 500,000 with a bunch of other platforms reposting it and whatnot. And I'm not saying he didn't repost it on where it's like slight hand or anything. He didn't repost it on his page, but then he reposted like another interview on his page. It did terrible numbers. It did like horrible numbers. And then the main interview was horrible numbers. I'm like, I think we've proven that if you give us like a star, if you give us like somebody, we're going to convert the same damn amount of numbers as like if you went on maybe a bigger platform. Because 110,000 views is about average for an hour and a half interview. It's not. It's like in the middle. It's not bad. It's a decent number. You know.
Right. What do you think about people like Wack 100 and his whole exposure thing? What do you think about how Wack 100 is using YouTube and using what status and what influence he has? What do you think about how he's using? Do you think he's using his influence and his status properly, or do you think he's
trying to make a living?
Obviously, he right.
If you don't piss people off, it's really hard to make it. I'm not saying it's impossible, but it's hard to. Not everybody's gonna like you. Comedians talk about this all the time. They talk, even the most famous comedians. they talk about how since everything's so politicized, people can't just say, I don't like what this guy's saying, I'm not going to listen to him anymore. What they have to do now is go, I don't like this guy, we need to figure out a way to remove him from the equation. Or we need to bash him, and we need to do all these billions of things to terrorize him and tear him down. Some people use that as their advantage because now they're getting more views and more comments and more engagement. But in the long run, what are you doing to yourself, bro? So many people can't even leave their houses no more, bro. Like, can academics leave the crib? Like, I don't even know. I don't know if academics can just like walk in, like live. Like, do you want to be like that? How do you feel? Do you feel like you can leave the crib because you can care for yourself? You know how to walk. You know how to move. But do you ever feel like, damn, Dawgface? Is there certain rooms that it makes it more difficult for me to walk into because of the things you've said?
Well, so that's always a consideration you have to take. You always have to factor the shit, the response to, or the feelings that you provoke or invoke in a person because you say something that may be disparaging to them. You always have to take into consideration of that. That is one of the drawbacks of being a YouTuber or being a journalist or being when you tell the truth or when you come down with an unpopular opinion about somebody, they're not going to like it. So yes, that's always a factor. It's always something that you have to take into consideration. So when I move throughout the course of my day, do I take safeguards? Am I cautious about where I go? It's a difficult question for me to answer because I'm always like I am, right? From the very first time you met me, before all this hoopla, when I pull up, I'm pulling up. You know what I'm saying? This is just me. So when it comes to, am I concerned about, bro, I'm already on tip. I was on tip before any of this shit ever transpired. So does it make me have a heightened sense of awareness of potential danger or potential possibility of conflict? Yeah, absolutely. Because I know people, but in my mind, I'm thinking, I don't give a fuck. Do I not go places because I'm afraid to bump into people? No, I'm going where the fuck I want to go. You know what I'm saying? I'm going where I want to go. I don't never not go somewhere because of, I might bump into somebody. No, I'm going where I want to go. I don't give a fuck. As you get bigger, it's just like saying this Jay-Z word about, yeah, fuck, you can't just go anywhere, right? So,
yeah, but because there's more accessibility because there are bodyguards and shit.
No, ain't no motherfucking And so, when it comes to, so I'm just conscious of my surroundings, period, because I have things, and I toil in the muck and mire of the ghetto. So when you coming through with $100,000 car or $85,000 motorcycle, you know you got to be aware because you are flexing even unintentionally on people who don't have shit. So the way I live my life, I'm always consciously aware of everything around me anyway.
You asked me about wack. What's your perspective on that type of avenue for entertainment and podcasting and interviews?
Hey, listen, wack 100 is just like Jerry Springer, Ricky Lake. You know what I'm saying? So, and that's the thing that people don't understand. They get mad at him. But hey, listen, when Wack does some shit that I don't be mad. I be like, if he does something that goes against what I consider to be reasonable behavior, or if he does something that I think is a contradiction, it gives me content to talk about. Because listen, there's always something to talk about. The YouTube space, there's never a shortage for people doing and saying dumb shit. We always are going to have something to talk about. There's never going to be a shortage because human beings are stupid and they do stupid shit.
You're like super on that though. You're like super invested in wack.
Yeah, well, let me say this. So here's the whole thing. So in the world of entertainment and your podcast, you talk about who's hot, good, bad, or indifferent, right? So when Wack comes out and he says some stupid shit, so it seems like I'm super invested in him because of the large amount of dumb bullshit that he does, and because he has a platform, he's able to project his ideologies. He's able to project through his minions and through his proxies. He's able to take what he thinks or what he or the agenda that he wants to push. He's able to push it further because he has spies. You heard me say I have 38 spies operate on social media and YouTube, and they bring me back information on people.
Goddamn.
Right? So it seems like a focus because in the world of YouTube, who are the lightning rods? Charleston White, Jaguar Wright, Big Homie CC, the bodyguard cat who did parties and all that kind of shit. But we don't have many people who are newsworthy or noteworthy. So those people stand out and stick out. You have Lil Woody, Charleston White, Wack 100, all the fuck boys, including himself, that operate with the exposures, with that whole stupid Adam 22 shit. These are the people who have put themselves on the forefront in the YouTube streets. So I'm a YouTuber. I operate in the YouTube streets. So we talk about things that are relevant and prevalent in society. We talk about Diddy. Right. We talk about the rap goofy shit going on, right? We talk about what the hot issues are. Now, I go off cuff and I talk about other things that have an impact on just urban lifestyle as a whole, but we talk about what's hot. The news, TMZ, they talk about what's hot, right? Say Cheese, they talk about what's hot. All the other blogs, they talk about what's hot. If it's not hot, people are not going to be interested in it. They're going to tune off you and tune on to somebody else who's giving them the content that they want to know about, hear about, and express themselves over.
Yeah, I agree with that. Because I have a slight disinterest towards it, but it is an unfortunate reality of the circumstances.
Oh, let me just tell you this, right? I talk about Wack 100 bitch ass. I don't go to sleep thinking about him. Yeah. I come on here and push this fucker. I push play. And as I'm done pushing play, I don't be sitting back thinking about this. I promise you, I don't. When you see Helliver and RJ Watkins Jr., again, ask them throughout the course of this entire bullshit over the last 2-3 months, right? 2 months. Ask them, I've made big strides and big gains in a lot of different areas. I am not spending any of my free time thinking about Street Lord Juan, Al Nukisha, Juanita, none of them. I'm spending zero time thinking about them. I promise you I am. I'm spending all the time I can thinking about creating and growing businesses and shit like that. I'm spending zero and educating myself. So I'm on a constant quest to increase my level of intelligence through education. I'm not thinking about these motherfuckers. When I turn this motherfucking thing off, I'm not thinking about no fucking Street Lord Juan. When you thinking about, no. Shit comes to me. At this point, most of the shit that I know about the Juanita, fat back, pickle pig feet, short pork fat, leather back, tough skinned ass nigga. These are people who have, bro, Kid L, I want you to know that I have received a litany of information, texts, pictures, all that shit. I received all kinds of information on all kinds of people, and I didn't even request it. But you have people don't like certain people, but they don't have the intestinal fortitude to stand up to people. And intestinal fortitude, that's a layman's terms, that means they ain't got the fucking kahunas. They ain't got the balls to stand up to certain people, right? Me, don't give a fuck, not so much. Don't care. Is it unpopular what you're doing, Dawgface? Probably so. But guess what? I was already unpopular, bro. What? I'm already not liked.
It's hard with Juan and Nuke because of the fact that, like, there is so much contribution, especially from Detroit's perspective of what Juan, what Street Lords meant, what Al Nuke's journey means to them, and all these things, the contributions that they have had. So it's like hard for people to digest it and hear it and be like, okay, somebody's talking crazy about somebody I idolize or somebody that's a father figure in the rap game to us.
I am the uncle who told Lil Bobby that there's no Santa Claus. I am the uncle who told Lil Bobby that there's no fat white man with a beard sliding down the fucking electric, right? And listen, everybody in the dog, I don't call my chat the chat, I call my chat the Dog Pound. I need everybody in the Dog Pound, leave a comment, like, make sure you subscribe, and share this. If you share this right now, you will broadcast what I'm saying to people all over the world. So I need you to comment if you're in my chat. Like it, comment it, and share it. Share my content. Share my inappropriate shit. Share Kid L. Share it to the world. We need you people. Kid L from the Kid L podcast is in the motherfucking building. Kid L Detroit is on fire again. The country is on fire again. Does Rio help Detroit? Or because he's from Flint, it doesn't count? Because some people say if you ain't from Detroit, you ain't it. You can't never be it.
Well, no, he's like so locked in with like Peasy and Team Eastside, Bezos Camp, all the IUR. Like he's so tied in with everybody that like he's part of Detroit. Like I mean I know I don't have the right to say something like that, being the fact that it's up to them to say something like that. But I mean, you got to kind of remove the division of the Flint and Detroit thing because he represents everything in Michigan right now, which is a great thing. You just hope that everybody really knows what time it is right now. This is the time to push him, to push him. Don't try to do anything snake backdoor or anything like that. Just let him do his thing, and he's gonna bless the people that deserve to be blessed. 100%. You could just see it in his heart and and what he's already done, how he's already extended the olive branch. He's going to continue to do that as long as nobody backdoors him or gets in his way. And unfortunately, I've been hearing weird stories lately of that happening a lot to artists that are involved with the groups, or one person rising above everybody else, and then somebody trying to pull that person down, or messing around with the politics of everything. And they don't like to see themselves not flourish. They don't want to wait their turn. And these days, I'm realizing that waiting your turn is essential. So everybody that's in Rio's corner right now, wait your fucking turn. Wait. It's going to happen. Don't think, oh, it's not happening. It's not happening in 2025, 2026. It might happen in 2029. But that's better than it never happening because you crashed out over it not happening. I was just talking to this dude that was a part of Streets R Us. His name's Carmichael 313. And I was telling him, I was like, he told me the same story about Streets R Us. He told me this, when I had Stunt Hard Buddha on and Stunt Hard on, they had the same story. Like, damn, man, we couldn't maintain it. Everybody was against everybody. It gets like that when one person is above everybody else.
Yeah, hopefully that whole mentality doesn't befall the artists coming out of Flint. I mean, this is your time to shine. Simple as that. Flint artists can't afford to be infighting or having any kind of animosity against anybody. You use this opportunity to go to handle your motherfucking business. Simple as that. The same way Detroit artists have had to eat crow when it comes to their ops getting on. Do you know how many motherfuckers hated 4-2 Doug got on? They fucking hated it, but there was nothing they could do about it. You know what I'm saying? But
it's a little luckier that it's like a smaller, more compact group of guys. In Detroit, it's like people will say Detroit, but it's almost like, yeah, but what you really talking about when you talk about Detroit? And it's in these different segments of groups and ideas and people. And Flint, it's like the cast. Crispy Life, RMC Mike, Babyface E, Louis Ray, YNJ. It's like like that group. It's so easy to just look at that's it. That's that circle right there. You know what I mean? And they're all good cats. Like I met all of them. But Crispy Life is a great guy.
Crispy. I fuck with the city of Flint, bro. Shout out to Reggie Youngo, the OG, which is Rio's dad. Shout out to the whole Flint scene. Shout out to Babyface E, RMC, Louis Ray, YNJ, my people. Shout out to my man Luce, Propane, the management up there. Them boys really kind of like, I'm proud of them boys. But I'm proud of the resurgence that Flint is having, bro. I'm Clarissa. What do you think about the Clarissa Shields versus Remy Ma thing, Kid L? Are you watching that shit?
I mean, they gotta promote themselves however they gotta promote themselves. That's how I like it. What do you think about it?
Do you think Remy Ma gonna fight?
Man, I don't believe anybody anymore, for real, bro. Until the promoters start posting the event day, I don't believe shit.
Right?
It's like a whole new strategy to promote shit is by promoting something that's not even gonna happen. That's like a whole new thing these days. Like everybody's been doing.
That's a new thing. People are making announcements and shit that's not. It's clickbait. Yeah. I guess they're trying to speak it into existence. That's exactly what the fuck is going on. Exactly what the fuck is going on. There's been a shakeup in radio in the city of Detroit. A couple of people from Hot 107.5 have migrated to WJLB. Sale. He's no longer with Hot 107.5. He's with WJLB. DJ Twist. Twist used to be T Grizzly's tour DJ. He's one of the mix show DJs at iHeartRadio WJLB now. What do you think about that? Does that have a significant impact, or does radio play into just the grassroots thing?
I don't know, bro. I honestly don't know anybody who's listening to radio anymore. It's kind of crazy. Like I don't know if it's. I might be just ignorant, but I don't really hear anybody like bumping the radio or like listening to interviews on the radio like they used to. But the only reason I'm mad that Sal left is because I was supposed to hit his ass up for an interview on 107, and now he's gone for that bitch. I don't know, like, are people tuning in? Like, is it still hot? Like, how hot is the radio these days?
Well, what it is radio is always going to be a significant impact on the culture, because you do have people who listen to radio for a variety of different reasons. So, yes.
So what do you think about the migration?
Oh, the migration is major, because what it does is it shows that WJLB, because they moved from Farmington back to downtown Detroit. And so one of the reasons why they got a DJ Twist, and one of the reasons why they went and they got a Sale, is because they wanted to have a more of a grassroots understanding with the city of Detroit. They wanted to open themselves back up. They wanted to have an impact on just the community, the listeners as a whole. So yeah, absolutely.
They reach out to you. You have to get on the radio or what, man? You need to fucking.
Man, I'll be trying.
Listen, do you think there would ever be a chance that a radio station would hire you with all the controversy you've already done and brought in and all the backlash you got.
Yeah, Charlamagne the God, controversial.
Not like you, bro. Not like you, bro.
You think I'm more controversial? You think I'm more controversial than Charlamagne the God?
I think the way that you express things is more unaccepted by mainstream media, and it's like you really cut into things. I think when they cut into it, they're like kind of surface level. Like,
well, I know how. Hey, listen. Hey, iHeartRadio, Radio One. If you're looking for a dynamic, reasonably intelligent voice, I'm here for it. If you need me to curtail or to dial back or to scale back on the amount of foolery that I get into verbally, I'm willing to do that for that check. I'm willing to motherfucking make it happen for that check. That's a motherfucking fact. I'm willing to do that for that check.
Tell me about Audi Money real quick, man. What's been up with you?
Audi Money is up next. Audi Money is a prodigy because, bro, when it comes to being able to create a hit record effortlessly without even trying, Audi don't write a motherfucking thing. The shit that y'all hearing is just the shit that he's thinking. He's not writing none of that shit down. So Audi might be crazy as a motherfucker, man, because the shit you hear him saying in them songs, that's how he talks in real life. When he's on your show, he say smack the bullet down. That's a true thing. That's how he talks. It's not an act. He's not one of these rappers that get in the studio and create some shit, bro. That's exactly how he fucking is. And Audi Money deserves to be the next big thing coming out of the city of Detroit. I'm liking all my playlist. I have Audi Money. I have Rio, of course. I have everybody from Flint has a couple of songs on my playlist. Everybody from Flint has a couple of songs on my playlist. Audi Money, of course, is in there. Runaway Love from Inkster. He hot. T.Dot Pringle is on fire. There's a couple of guys, man. Detroit there's still a lot of unrealized talent who haven't got the opportunity to really go crazy. But yeah, it's a lot of talent around here. Radio is here to stay. Radio is always going to be a powerhouse because it's a major source of advertising, marketing, and promotion. So it's always going to be has a significant role. Whether you listen to it or not, or whether I listen to it or not, it don't matter. But you still have millions of motherfuckers who do, which is why Fortune 500 companies invest millions of dollars into advertising there because they know that there is an audience. We in the world of entertainment, they say we don't listen to radio. We ain't everybody in the world.
That's
We're representing a small percentage of the world.
I've been learning that a lot lately because, like, you know, the more you get behind the scenes, the less you get interested in entertainment.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, the deeper I've been getting into it, I'm starting to lose interest in a lot of it. And then I'm thinking that the way I'm thinking is how everybody else is thinking, but I'm not realizing, like, no, everybody's still super zoomed in on shit.
No, they're super zoomed in on that shit. They are super zoomed in on that shit. Keefe D from Keefe D podcasting, but I need everybody in my Dog Pound chat. My Dog Pound chat. I need y'all to like it, share it, subscribe to it, tell a friend. The doggy is live. I have Keefe D. If you have any questions for Keefe D, put it in my motherfucking chat, and I will ask Keefe D whatever y'all want me to ask him, man. Put it in there, man. My damn. So we got a bunch of Esham in here, man. Your interview with Esham was kind of controversial because Esham didn't seem to take to you, Keefe D. You want to comment on that?
Yeah, that was interesting. So me and Esham had talked about him coming on the podcast, and he said yes. And when he came to the door where I greeted him, I was walking him to the studio. And you know when you just know something's off? It happened very quick. I had said something, and he didn't respond to what I said. And I was like, I'm in trouble. I was like, this is not going to go the way I think it's going to go. This is not going to be the interview I think it's going to be. I'm not going to be talking about the red tape with him. I'm not going to be talking about any of his earlier work. Something's going on. So we sat down, and he was pretty quiet. And I was trying to, like get things situated, and I was like,
do you think that Esham came in there with some preconceived notions or prejudices against you?
Bro, if everybody watches the interview, you can see it. It's as clear as day. He calls me out multiple times. Like, I'm trying to talk about the red tape with him, and then he's like, let's talk about protecting the black culture, protecting Detroit culture. He's like, that's like what you're doing is basically like if I went to Palestine and started a business in Palestine. He was comparing like what I'm doing in Detroit culture to him if he went to Palestine, which I'm not Palestinian, but he went to Palestine and tried to do the same thing with my culture. So once he started with that, I was kind of like, where are we going right now? I was like, we're talking about me right now? I thought this interview was about you, your career, your upbringing, all these types of things. So he starts taking shots at me early on. And I was just sitting there like, oh my God, I can't believe this is him trying to press me during an interview that, you know, I invited him to.
Did you understand who Esham was going to the interview?
I will say this. I was ignorant in the fact that his impact was way more prestigious than I had anticipated. Like, I didn't know. I'll admit to that. I didn't know how big he was.
Like a founding father of Detroit's hip-hop scene.
Right, like core rap and everything. I did a lot of research about him. Don't get me wrong. It's not like I didn't research him. It's not like I didn't do the due diligence of actually getting his background. I couldn't walk through his timeline. Like, if you see me in the beginning, I'm trying to talk about earlier stuff leading to the red tape. And once I got to the red tape, it was, no, he wasn't trying to go there with me. He was trying to get into me, like what I'm doing in the Detroit culture, what I'm doing in the community. And if you see, he starts talking about Eminem at a certain point when he's talking about culture vulture. He says a line from Eminem's song, which is something about using black music to make myself wealthy. So he pointed out that line from an Eminem lyric. And then I said, wait, are you talking about me or Eminem when you're talking about this culture vulture stuff? Then he switched it to make it seem like he was talking about Eminem the whole time. So I was kind of like, wait, have you been pointing at me this whole time or are you talking about Eminem? Like, what is the conversation about? So I feel like what he was doing was he was dibble-dabbling. He was being very smart and connecting me and Eminem like you both are culture vultures, right? I'm sitting in front of you telling you you're a culture vulture during your damn interview, and I'm also referencing Eminem as a culture vulture at the same time. So once we got into the Eminem conversation, there was no going back. We couldn't go back to his tapes. We couldn't go back to how he used to press CDs, his own CDs. We couldn't go on to none of that shit. We ended up talking about the Warped Tour where supposedly he got jumped by members of Eminem's entourage and all these types of things. And then there was just no going back. There was multiple times where I was trying to pull away from the Eminem conversation. I was like, let's move away. I literally said, let's move away from the Eminem thing. He's like, yeah, let's move away from Eminem. Then boom, right back, he goes into Eminem all over again. And I'm just sitting there like, oh my God, I'm trying to get away from Eminem. You're coming back to Eminem. You're being sneaky in how you're doing it. So that when the audience watches this shit, which they did do, 1,000 comments of people saying, why isn't Kid L talking about Esham's legacy? Why isn't he talking about the red tape? This is why Esham doesn't do interviews because all people do is ask him about Eminem. And I'm sitting there going, bro, this motherfucker's the one bringing up Eminem every 5 seconds. I brought him up twice. He brought him up every other time besides that. Esham is so smart. He knew what he was doing. He knew how to control the interview. And I was too inexperienced at the time to realize what he was doing. He was a very smart guy. But I will say this on his defense, I wasn't prepared for that interview on the level of due diligence I should have done, the research about him, I didn't do enough. I should have done way more. I should have called way more people. I should have introduced him more gracefully, and I didn't do those things. So I understand, but he came in with the intentions of...
He kicked your ass. He came in.
Yeah, he came in. He came, fuck it, that's fun. Fuck it. Do your thing.
It is. You tuned in to the Best Dawgfacetv podcast live on everything. I have Kid L from the Kid L podcast here. I want to shout out to everybody who tapped in from Facebook. Angie Brown, what's up? Mike Luke, what's up? Sydney Carter, what's up? Chris, that's my dog. Chris Bodivine, what's up? Sig Dollar, what's the word with you, man? Yeah, that's my man Black and Don. Dre in the building. Future Bear out the Yak Towns in the building. Y'all know what it is. Kid L's in the building. Hey, Kid L, I have a question. It says, who's next on the list for Kid L? Who is he interviewing? Who do you want? Who's your wish list of interviewees?
The wish list of interviews like that people have on a podcast. I want to get Eminem on because of the fact that the interview with Cheddar Bob went crazy. I think that bitch is like 125,000 views on one video, and then 15,000 on a segment, a clip of that, and on the internet it's at 2 million. On Instagram it's at 2 million views. But I want to just, man, you know I'm the biggest Eminem fan of the world. I would love to just sit with him, bro. I grew up listening to him, watching him, everything from the beginning of his career till now, and I want to just talk to him about my insights about him, but also want to kind of dive into the Detroit's concerns things, like kind of tap in with him about that. Like, what do you think about Detroit's concerns about, you know, how much you're reaching out to the music scene out here, and just see where his mind's at with it. And after Eminem, it would be like, I think me and T Grizzly would have a fun ass conversation. I think me and T Grizzly would like light the shit up and just have a lot of fun. Now mainstream, like if I could get a mainstream person on, like that's like not rap related, shit, I would get a comedian on. What comedian would you interview if you could interview any comedian? Like a major comedian.
Right now, Jamie Foxx would be number one in my hip.
Did you watch his special?
Yeah, I absolutely did. I absolutely did. It was amazing. Yep.
What was the special like? What was it? What the fuck?
It was more. It was his life. It was his life. It was the recent ordeal that he just went through with the health scare. Oh no, the whole Diddy conversation was paramount. It was front and center. It was more of, it was storytelling. not necessarily comedy. So the actual, I interviewed just my man Q Hip, aka Scam Lightly, and he was there live in person because he did it in Atlanta. He said the show was 2.5, almost 3 hours. The comedy special, of course, was reduced down to an hour. He said it was more just about him talking about his life. He said in total, he said the show was about 25% comedy and 75% his life, and just he just made all the trials and tribulations he's been going through. He just turned them into jokes, but it's more about his life, right? It's more about his life. What does Kid L? What does Kid L see himself a year from now? What do you see yourself doing? Do you plan on morphing into? See, because the natural transition for you, because you're an interviewer. So, do you plan on getting into any direct commentary, like you get academics or like a commentary?
So I don't know if you've seen the dispute between Funny Marco and Funny Salesman yesterday, but I think it's Detroit Rap News. It has like 1,300 comments now. It has over 1 million views overnight. This is just last night that Detroit Rap News had reposted it, and I got phone calls from everybody, from Funny Marco, from Funny Salesman, from everybody. I'm hearing all different types of stories, and I was just kind of sitting there. I was like, dog, do I really want to be part of the fucking influencer celebrity thing? Like, do I really want to be a celebrity influencer? Like, I just go to these events and talk on mics. And it doesn't interest me, man. What I think really interests me is building this platform to the point where I can have hosts aside myself hosting interviews that I don't have time for, or that I think would be suited better for a different interviewer to do the interviews. Similar to No Jumper, there's like No Jumper interviews where it's better for this interviewer.
There's no shortage of talking heads on No Jumper.
Huh?
There's no shortage of talking heads on No Jumper.
Yeah, like I kind of like that idea, because I like the idea of like I don't got to be there, but there's somebody else doing the interview. That way, that artist is still getting exposure, and that way the platform's still building. But I'm off like making a movie or working on film production. I don't see myself being one of these talking head celebrity influencer guys just because I'm not interested enough. I think it's like, I don't know, man. Something about it feels kind of weak. Like for me to like talk so much about something that, it's kind of like we're just trying to do our best to keep people entertained with drama. And there's a part of me that doesn't subscribe to that fully. So now that I've tasted it so many times in the past couple of weeks, from, again, the Shut Up Bob interview, doing 1 million clips on Instagram, to the Funny Salesman, to that dude who came on and said that jewelers were having him steal bucks after they sold him. I was like, man, do I really want to be a motherfucking
because you listen, when you walk on this side of the dark side of, this is genuinely the dark side of the YouTube streets. When you walk down the alleys, you are going to experience some shit. Shout out to Crystal, the sound guru, the sound genie. Whenever I got some technical shit, I call my girl Chris, man. That's my dog, man. What do you think about the Lions? They want to know what you think about the Detroit Lions. What do you think about it? I mean,
you take that one. Do you take that one, dog? Yeah.
The Lions?
Yeah. What do you think about the Lions?
Man, I had literally given up on the Lions because it wasn't because of the Lions. It was because of the Ford family, bro. They, like, historically, one of the worst coaching family legacies in the history of all sports, not just the NFL. I am happy because I'm a Detroiter. I'm a Michigander. It's always better when your team is. I'm a sports fan. I love football. I love basketball. I love baseball. So if you're from a state and we only have one football team, so love it or hate it, I would always prefer for my team to be doing well. And the Lions have proven it's a new day, and I'm happy. The Fords, I don't know who got in their ass, but somebody had to do something.
How's the comedy been doing?
Amazing. My next comedy, I've been booked for 4 comedy shows over the course of the next 60 days. I need you to make sure. Do it. Can I pay you to host my next comedy special?
I don't think I'll be. Can I be there?
Of course.
You pull up. I don't know how to make a good host, man.
October. This is my next comedy special. It's called The Most Dangerous Voice in Detroit. It's at Punchline Comedy Club, Sunday, April 13th.
I'm there.
Yeah, come on. You on the list. It is what it is.
I have to be on the motherfucking list. I'll be there. I'll be crying the hardest out of everybody in there.
No, listen. So I'm a student of comedy, bro. I've always been. I've always appreciated the need for comedy, for comic view. I've always appreciated it, and I love it. You know what I'm saying? It gives me the opportunity to be myself and to really express myself in a real way. So comedy is something that I'm taking serious. I've been booked outside of my own comedy special that I'm doing on Sunday, April 13th at Punchline. I've been booked for 3 other comedy shows, man. So y'all this shit.
You're the only comedian that probably like has a fucking rifle scoped on his head while he's doing his jokes. Somebody's out there. Don't fucking say that, doggy. And they're just waiting for you to say something too crazy for
No. Oh, you gotta come because I'm. Listen, my show should be called Standing on Business because everything that you hear me saying on YouTube, Instagram, I'm saying that shit, but in a more funnier fashion, live on stage. I'm not on there not saying. I'm saying my shit. The same. If you think the shit I be saying is outrageous on social media and on YouTube, come to one of my comedy shows.
I'm pulling up. I can't believe I missed any of those bitches.
Sunday, April 13th. This will be my 5th show. Sunday, April 13th, Punchline Comedy Club. I'm live. It's called The Most Dangerous Voice in Detroit. That's what it's called. Man, I appreciate you, Kid L. Anything you want to say, tell them where they can find you, where they can follow you, where they can digest your content.
Oh yeah, Kid L on Instagram, Kid L video on Instagram, Kid L video _ on TikTok. I think we just hit 3 million likes on TikTok. YouTube, we're at like 31,000 subscribers, so we're still building it, but the views are getting nicer. And the community is kind of coming together now. I feel like it's people are finally kind of building a community around my podcast now, which is nice. It took a long time, it took years, but I think people are finally engaging and being part of it. Not Street Lord LO, but Dawgface, you interview Street Lord Rook.
Oh, Rook, yeah. I mean, I'll interview anybody. Tell Rook to holler at me. You know what I'm saying? I'll interview anybody.
Let me ask you a question before we sign off.
Go ahead.
Do you think you would ever, well, I already know you and Al Nuke are so fucking, I don't know how far it is now, but do you think you and Al Nuke will ever be cool?
Kid L, when you take a man's address where his kids lay their head and you put it on social media, Al Nuke is a coward of epic proportion. He's not a man. He's a coward. He's a caricature of what people would consider a man. He's a coward. And he operates in cowardice. He knows with absolutely no uncertainty that he can't fuck with me at all, period. He don't want to come face to face with me. I don't give a fuck about none of that fake ass shit he's saying, because if he did, you wouldn't see him do all the shit he did. He went into trying to get into a debate with me for the sole purpose. It was all jealousy. Oh, I've been accumulating information on you. You've been cussing me out for years, but you never said anything to me when you saw me face to face. You never confronted me like a man would confront another man. I don't respect him as a man. Whenever I see him, he gonna have to see me. I don't give a fuck who he with, none of that, period. He's a coward. I don't respect no coward. Now listen, you ain't got to like me. I don't got to like you. But I got Al Nuke's address. I had it when he put my address out there. I know where Al Nuke's daughter lives in Detroit. I know where Al Nuke's daughter live in Atlanta. I have their addresses. I would never put, because the children have nothing to do with whatever conflict that he and I has at all. I know where Al Nuke's baby mamas live at. I know where they work at. I would never mention where they live at. I may say something about them, but I would never put their addresses out there because you never know who does what or who has what disposition. I don't respect that. And if you had an issue with me like you say you did, if you were tired of me talking to you any kind of way like you said you did or were, you could have saw me. You just saw me at D-Reed Party at 1440. I was DJing it when Cash Dial and Trey Songz pulled up in that motherfucker. So I don't respect it. Al Nuke's a coward. I don't fuck with cowards, period. At all, period.
Got it.
Next question.
The fighters in LA, you're seeing the celebrities are doing their best to reach out. I think Kim Kardashian is trying to get the firefighters that work for the prisons a raise because they're currently getting paid $1 an hour. And then on top of that, there's other celebrities that are giving away all their clothes and all their stuff to people that are in terrible situations. What do you think about celebrities and how they're handling the response to the fires in LA?
That is a part of celebrity. They're supposed to lend whatever assistance they can, whether it be financial, whether it just be lending their voice to whatever the tragedy, the tragedy or whatever the issue is. They're supposed to do that. That is you don't. Heavy is the crown. Heavy is the crown that is worn by people who have been anointed and bestowed with the amount of grace and notoriety and love that is heaped on these celebrities. They're supposed to use their influence to have a positive impact on the world as a whole. They're not supposed to just be diddying their fucking way through baby oil situations.
That's good. That's good. All right, shit, doggy, man. Fucking great talk as per usual,
man. I salute you, man. I appreciate you, Kid L. You my brother. You always gonna have my support, man. It is what it is, man. Kid L, go follow Kid L on everything. Go tap into his YouTube presence. Go tap into his Instagram presence. Kid L, I'm gonna let you take this motherfucker out. Let's go.
Appreciate you, man. Appreciate these platforms, man, that are still going, man. Dogface. Appreciate you still going and doing these things, man. Really standing on business, like you said. Hopefully that's what you need, the special. Shout out to all the other media platforms in Detroit that are trying to make a name for themselves. I know it's extremely difficult. I know we don't really have, the circulation that's required to keep yourself afloat, because mainly celebrities is what keeps media platforms afloat. Unless you take a controversial route, which is very difficult to do. But one day, you guys, any media platforms, I know Murder Mitten's in here, Foreign Magazine, Detroit Discussion, all these places, just be patient, build slowly like I did, man. It takes time. I'm almost at 500 episodes, and like people say, 90% of those people are people that didn't have a name. And some of them do have a name now, and so now I have those close connections with those people that I invested with, and they invested in me. So keep investing in the artists you believe in. Don't wait for them to get super hot before you invest in them. If you see somebody you believe in, invest in them right away. Just be like, yo, man, come pull up. Let's do some work. Let's collaborate. Let's work together. Stop waiting for everybody to get hot before you work with them. You have to, if you're going to be in the entertainment scene, you have to have some type of sense of when somebody has talent and that person is consistent. You have to invest in those people immediately. Stop waiting for them to be already successful and then reach out and say, why isn't this dude working with me when you didn't see it when it was happening? It's not hard to spot. It's not hard to see. You see all the money. That's the easy person to spot. It's not hard. He's right there in your face. But how many of you guys missed him? So shout out to all the platforms. Keep working. Keep grinding. Pay attention to the 90-10 rule, man. Spend 10% of your month or week helping out artists around you. That's all I got to say. Appreciate you, Dawgface.
It is what it is, man. You tuned into the best of Dawgfacetv podcast on every goddamn thing. Kid L, salute, brother.
Peace.
Peace.
Mm.